Ha! That's my best highbrow ostrich laugh from Family Guy. As you know, the insane levels of butthurtness have to be off the charts with the media, which has now pushed things too far. They've pushed Warner Brothers too far. They've pushed the director and the cast of Joker too far with their sensational headlines. And now Warner Brothers has put their foot down. Now, if you've been following the outright hilarious, unfounded, slanderous, fear-mongering articles by the mainstream media about Joker, you know what I'm talking about. If you've been living under a rock, essentially most of these articles read like this. Somehow the Joker is a completely different film than all other films that have ever been produced, and it's going to make people go do horrible things. New at 9 p.m. Or also something like, is Joker the new reason you have to fear the average white male? At 9 p.m. after 4 minutes of pre-roll ads. I don't understand this. You know, I'm glad that the internet has turned to memeing on this now. It's a good time for it because it was reaching a point where, you know, it was getting a little concerning, to be honest with you. I was concerned that, you know, people were going to be, quote, inspired by just the media at this point. Now, the ridiculous argument that the media was making was that the Joker somehow makes you feel bad for him, and it's going to inspire, as they call it, incels, the evil incels. Woo! They're coming to get you. They've moved from basically the AR to incels as groups of people that are minuscule and hold very little power, but somehow, some way, you're supposed to fear them. In the same way that you're supposed to fear the OK hand symbol and apparently the Zelda Triforce now. These are all symbols that may be used by a tiny group of people, ironically or unironically, but the other 99.9% of people are supposed to change the way we go about our daily lives because a stupid website full of from a grifter organization says these symbols are bad. I'm sorry, but I don't subscribe to that. I don't think you should subscribe to that. And more people need to stand up against these ridiculous organizations, these ridiculous websites, and say, you know what? I'm going to go about my life. I'm going to go enjoy the things I'm going to do. I'm going to do all the OK hand symbols. I'm going to do all the bull cuts I want because I'm not what you say I am. And with the Joker film, Warner Brothers has finally just put their foot down. They've said enough is enough with these ridiculous headlines. You are trying to push this, like, to be totally honest with you, an anti-white and anti-male agenda in your headlines. Now, this isn't everybody talking about the Joker film, but you know who I'm talking about. I mean, it just very clearly is that. And look, to my detractors, I see you out there on Twitter. It's the only place you're relevant, so it doesn't really bother me. But you're welcome to come on my show and discuss to me how I'm wrong about that. No, seriously. I want someone to, with a straight face, come on my show and talk to me about how these media outlets aren't just using this movie as a reason to say bad things about white males. This has been a 2 or 3 year trend of modern media. It's what has soured large groups of the Star Wars fandom because of the way the media talked about the fans. And that's the thing. A lot of people look at that and they'll say like, oh, people didn't like Rose Tico and this was mean and blah, blah. No, the people reacted to the headlines, to the articles that were written about large groups of the fandom. Now that turned into genuine distaste and in some cases genuine anger with the franchise and with maybe particular actors like John Boyega, who's come out and said stuff like that, and Ryan Roundhead Johnson, who's come out and said things that are inflammatory. It's not good. Fandoms are inherently this thing that can be wild, that can be bad at sometimes, but can also be very good. Like me, the people that are fans of this channel use their power for good every day to remember to like the video, leave their comments, and share the videos on Twitter and Facebook. And I hope that my videos are bringing some sort of like calming approach. Maybe people think I'm a little overreacting a little to other articles that are overreacting. And if at the end of the day you walk away from my videos with a better, more level-headed approach, that's a huge victory for me. I want more people walking around laughing at ridiculous headlines. Warner Brothers. A lot has been said about Joker, so it's canceling red carpet interviews. With the larger conversation around Todd Phillips' upcoming Joker film continues to intensify as people reflect on how the story's depiction of white men fits into our cultural landscape, Warner Brothers is attempting to take back control of the narrative by barring print and broadcast access to the red carpet of the Hollywood premiere where interviews were to be conducted. Variety reports Warner Brothers has disinvited all print and television reporters from the red carpet of Joker's Hollywood premiere set to take place this Saturday. And let me just say, Todd, Joaquin, I'm sure you watch my videos. I'm sure you do. Bring some YouTubers. That'll really stick in their craw. YouTube coverage, not just me. Just do a quick YouTube search of the coverage that Joker's been getting, and the overwhelming majority of the videos are laughing at these outlets. The YouTube media, or YouTube commentating community, has, what I can see, been approaching this from a very level-headed perspective, and we'd love to have a chance to ask you questions on the red carpet. Set to take place this Saturday, only photographers will be granted access. IO9 has independently confirmed that only photographic press will be allowed to the red carpet. Variety's editor-in-chief, Claudia Eller, reacted to the news by writing, "Are you kidding me? This is unprecedented. Rah, 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 rah. I can't use your movie to push my hate, to push my divisiveness. This is an outrage." To which I'm sure they wrote all sorts of articles. And look, the media is important. It's an important tool to a lot of Hollywood movies and big budget video games to get coverage. That's how you reach the normies. You know, I have probably never in my life read Variety magazine. Only having, after starting this YouTube channel, have I ever possibly gone to their website. They aren't targeting me, but this is how they make their money. They can't say something normal. They have to say something absurd to get people's attention. And now, guess what? They don't get to fly their little soy-infused reporters out to the red carpet to try and get Todd Phillips with another gotcha question. They don't get to go out there and blame Joaquin Phoenix for something that somebody potentially dumb will do. By the way, I'm going to see this film on opening night. I have absolutely no concerns whatsoever at all. I'm not going to live my life in fear. I'm not going to let the mainstream media's hate brigade campaign dictate what I do in my free time. And you know what? In the extremely rare case, in the winning the Powerball, winning the super mega lottery of bad luck, if that ever happens, I'm okay with it, because I'm not going to live every waking moment of my life worried about what if, especially when that what if is more unlikely than being struck by lightning 3 times in 1 year. While red carpet interviews don't always lead to the lengthiest of exchanges between reporters and cast and crew members, they're excellent opportunities for members of the press to present the rich and powerful with succinct, to-the-point questions. Get out of here. You aren't the rich and powerful. The media is calling somebody else rich and powerful. You've got to be kidding me. When reached for comment, Warner Brothers spokesperson said they did not give IO9 a reason behind the barring, which is highly unusual, if not unprecedented, but gave the following statement. a lot has been said about the Joker, and we feel it's time for people to see the film. A lot of interviews regarding Joker have already been conducted before this past week, of course, and it wasn't until an interview posted by Telegraph in which the outlet reported Phoenix walking out after being asked whether or not audiences might take the wrong message from the film. That's a very generous reframing of that question. Family members, and then they're going to go on to try and talk about the thing that happened in Colorado, although that was never, by the way. This is like one of those things like the Berenstain Bears. Everyone thinks they're the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstain Bears. The thing that happened there was never, ever officially linked to the Joker in any way. But every media outlet ran with the story anyway. And even modern day, right now, in almost October of 2019, when everybody knows there's no link, they're bringing it up, but then not really going out of their way to say, well, actually, this is not related in any way. They just want to talk about it. They're purposely being misleading. Warner Brothers suddenly deciding to bar reporters. They're not reporters. They're smear merchants. For the movie's red carpet doesn't send the message that the studio is actually interested in giving its director and cast a chance to unpack the Joker's big ideas. No, they're just saying, it's done. Go see the movie. We're not here to answer to you so you can get a headline for your blog. That's what it's saying. It suggests the studio might never have fully understood the gravity of moving forward with this movie. Or that once the studio realized that it was going to have to answer difficult questions about the end product, it chose to simply cut the press access off altogether. Boy, could you jar and smell any more of your farts, Gizmodo? I mean, seriously. It's no surprise that your outlet is hemorrhaging money and has been sold several times in the past few years. All right, here's the truth. The media knows you're not going to be asking questions about the movie in good faith. The media, or the studio also knows that you're the same people that say, well, John Wick 3 is just a cartoon. It's funny. It's a parody. But the Joker is super serious and really needs to answer the tough questions about the things that it's posing. Phil said to The Wrap about the issues, I'm surprised. Isn't it good to have discussions? Isn't it good to have these discussions about movies? Why is it a bad thing if the movies lead to discourse about it? It just seems as if he and WB don't actually want to discuss them after all. Well, I don't think so. I think that they're happy to discuss them, but they want to discuss them with a good faith organization. And based on the numerous headlines that we've seen over the past few weeks, nobody's really approaching this in any good faith way. It's dominating the media cycle. So they've just said, you know what, we're done. We're done with these interviews. We're not going to be doing any more of them. Tough. Go write your clickbait, but we're not going to help you do it. And I think that's 100% reasonable. And I look forward to seeing this movie next week. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Above, you'll find some links to watch more videos, as well as a nice big button to subscribe, which I hope you'll do. If you did enjoy it, make sure before you go that you leave a like and a comment on the video, because you are the #1 reason this channel continues to grow, and I appreciate you.